Level 6, we are back. We are still looking at our consistency or lack thereof. I hope you guys have been consistent ever since I've last posted. I know that it's been a journey getting to the end of 2023. It has been for me. A lot has changed. I know that from a personal standpoint, additional challenges, but new experiences. And I think that's what life is all about. And that's what it's going to be about today in this video, which is lifestyle. After applying philosophy, attitude, and analyzing your activity, and then seeing the results, you now have the ability to figure out your lifestyle, aka how to live well. So our focus is lifestyle. This is the last piece in the puzzle of, a consistent 5 pieces to life success. What I want you to focus on initially is, after I've seen my results, what do I want out of my lifestyle? What is going to be my identity? Who is the person that I want to be for others, for myself? I think that type of identity is what's going to allow you to increase in your passion and increase in your ability to figure out what you want to do for the rest of your life, what brings you joy. And these are some things that I've seen in my life, especially recently, that I've had to adjust because it's something that's ever changing. Number 1, we go into making the good life. When I think about making the good life, I think executing consistently to become the person that I want to. How do you do that? You don't do that whenever the emotions are strong. You have to do it consistently. This channel is all about consistency. However, it's about making a system. It's about making a formula so that you can understand, how can I get from point A to point B? One thing I really want to highlight is you have to be able to be happy with where you are and what you have in the pursuit of what you want. And so that one hit me very hard, because when I think about all the times where I felt like I wasn't where I needed to be, so often I ended up not realizing where I was. The time to be grateful is going to be throughout all of these videos as well. But when you figure out where you're at and you start to water your own grass, the next thing after that is focusing on where you want to go and enjoying the journey along the way. When you're working out, you're 300 pounds and you start to really enjoy the journey. You start to enjoy the little wins. You start to see that you can jump a little higher, run a little farther. That's where you'll be able to execute a change in lifestyle that will benefit you for the long term. Whenever you're going to be focused on your grades, or you're in school consistently and you start to enjoy studying, you figure out a system that allows you to enjoy studying based off of a reward basis or based off of a community, then your lifestyle changes through these other ways of making your life better. That's what I think number 1 is. Number 1 is figuring out how to make the good life. And when I think of that as well, I'm thinking, how can I do this? That's the first question that you would ask me. Whenever it came to that first question, my first answer is always going into it being a study. If you're going to be happy, you need to study happiness. If you're going to be wealthy, you need to study wealth. If you're going to be joyful, you need to study joy. You need to realize that there are people who have the plethora of knowledge. Hell, it's on ChatGPT. It's everywhere. And it's something that you should journey to. Make it a study and make it a journey in itself, because that will allow you to focus on the foundation of your life. Not just, man, I want to make it, man. I want to hit this next $1 million. I want to do this. No, the goal is, I want to become someone that can attract $1 million. I want to become someone that people want to be around, or I want to become someone that my family would be proud of. Those are the longer lasting results, or you would get the longer lasting results from identities like that. And so making the good life is what I identify as a study. So for example, whenever you're thinking about joy, and I think of a man who has all the money that he could want. He was a rocket scientist. He studied fervently. He makes $500,000 a year, but his kids want money from him to go to a concert. And he just wads up the $100 bill and throws it at them. Fine, if you want money, if you want it that bad, go take it. He throws it on the ground and they take it. The man has made money, but he hasn't figured out how to live well. And that's because along the journey, the focus has always been the money, the end goal, versus the self-development in that goal. Now, whenever he realized that in the future, what that man did is instead, I'm going to go ahead and invest in my kids. I'm going to go ahead and invest in what they're passionate about. And the next time that they had the concert, he stated, here's an envelope. I love you guys. And go ahead and take this Uber over there and then give the tickets over to the ticket counter. And so the kids do that, and they see that instead of them getting their nosebleed seats as usual, they were on first row, right in front, right where they couldn't believe it. And so the dad stayed up later, and he said, hey, and he waited there until his kids got back, and his kids came in and hugged him, and you said, you got to be the all-time world's best dad. And that's the type of change that you can have when it comes to your identity and what is important. That's one thing that I personally have had to think about a lot when it comes to what is important in my life. Where do I need to humble myself? I won't go down the slippery slope of success because another outline there, well, I guess I'll stop there because I can get into many tangents as we go. Or as we're finishing the end of 2023, you've started to look at a couple of the videos and you've stated, okay, well, I figured out some things I want to highlight that I know I can change, that will affect my habits, that will affect the reactions to things that happen to me, and inevitably make my life more positive. That is the goal, right? This point guides me straight into number 2, is don't be lazy in learning. Not only learning how to do well, but learning how to live well. Those are two different things. When it comes to that, you should follow, of course, that's why you're here. That's also why you're looking at these videos. But at the same time, you're creating a following for yourself. You're taking notes, putting your notes inside of your journal. One thing I'd want to highlight too, I mean, I have the same thing. I got my journal here. I mean, my journal here has been through thick and thin with me. It's gone through coffee, it's gone through whatever. As you're looking at it, I'm already almost done. This is my 3rd journal officially. This one will be from when I was 24 to now when I'm 26. And it's had all of the sermons that I think are important. It's had all of the things that I would like to study. It has my short-term goals, and then I can look back on it and see if this is something that I really should focus on, or my perspective at the time. I think that that's something that you need throughout your time in the year, is saying, hey, what am I going to highlight this month that I'm going to focus on? Am I going to focus internally? Am I going to go to maybe call a therapist, see if I can go above and beyond in regards to mental fortitude? Am I going to go into finding a coach that can hold me accountable from a fitness perspective so I can really focus on consistent disciplines and fitness? Or am I going to start to create more content for YouTube? Am I like myself, or am I going to focus on making sure that I can have as much traffic as possible from a marketing perspective? These things are all studies that people give them out. They give courses for free, and they have Udemy as well, which is a shameless tag, but I use it all the time, and it's because it allows you to always be learning, and that's something that you will never drop when it comes to your lifestyle, which is the pen and paper. Always be a student. So number 3, or 2.5 rather, one thing that I always want to add is in your study and your quest for lifestyle, it's beginning to focus in what brings you joy. And what brings me joy, for example, is giving. One thing that I heard specifically from Jim Rohn is whenever you're going to have 2 amounts in your head, always be the 2-quarter thinking person, because I guarantee you that whenever you're trying to give the lower amount versus the higher amount, that's one thing that eventually will catch up to you in some way. And I believe that to this day. And so now in the future, I always give more than I think I should. And that's something that really gives me joy. One guy said that he's going to go buy beer with it. But at the same time, it's not for him. It's the act of giving in itself that proves that the money is not going to control me. And instead, I know what is important. So it's a consistent reminder. And that's just an example of me living what I deem as living well. Great, guys. I hope that you can look at this at the end of all of these videos and practice as you continue. Make some notes continuously, and that way you'll be able to focus on the next steps of your 5 pieces of success, 5 pieces of life's puzzle. If you like this, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and we can see you on the next one. But I know that there are money levels to come. For me, the same as you, I wish you guys the most of success.